Welcome to OSM Operation Safe Mode. Peace be with you. Once again, at this very critical time as we prepare for Christmas and make our last preparations, we have the OSM Mailbag again because so many questions have been coming in. Random questions this time, but most of them focusing on Christmas, so let's get right to it. And remember, I no longer have to read the letters. I can use my phone because I'm becoming so high tech. So let's reach into the OSM Mailbag and pull out our questions, which are so appropriately written on my phone. So let's start at the beginning. Dear Father John, it seems to be so long since Bishop Malesic left us. Is there a new bishop in our future? Well, that's a great question, and that's been asked over and over again. But today I can announce with great excitement that yes, today we were given a new bishop. And I am so excited because our new bishop is a priest from our diocese. In fact, he was the vicar general, which means he was tending to the bishop in the bishop's needs and administration, and also was named our administrator in absence of the bishop, and that is Monsignor Larry Kulik. He will be our next Bishop of Greensburg. And I am so excited because I've worked with him so much. Of course, we both went to the same high school, St. Joe's High School. I'm winning the Spirit of St. Joseph Award, and he's made a bishop. So go figure. Who's more important here, right? But we are so excited. February 11th, he will be consecrated as the Bishop of Greensburg, and we can't be more pleased and excited that the Holy Father has chosen Monsignor Larry Kulik as our next bishop. So now we will be referring to him as Bishop-elect. So when you're listening at Mass, you will hear our prayers for our newly elected bishop. So thanks for keep asking that question. I was surprised today. I wasn't expecting it before Christmas, but you could not have given the Diocese of Greensburg a better Christmas present after losing one of the best bishops we've ever had, Bishop Malesic. Our next question is, what should we do for Christmas Mass? This is an important question that so many are asking, perhaps maybe because I didn't message to you clearly in my letter, and I've been trying to re-message that any chance I have, such as before the Masses that we've scheduled on OSM. Here's basically what I want you to feel comfortable doing. If you have been avoiding the opportunity to come to Sacred Mass during COVID-19 because you felt vulnerable, because you felt it would be safer to stay home, that was completely acceptable. Remember, our obligation for Sunday Mass during this pandemic has been abrogated, which means there is no pain of sin not to come to Mass. So many of you have chosen in good conscience to stay away from the crowds at Mass and watch on OSM. My message is simply this: if you have been staying safe in the Lord at home and away from face-to-face liturgy so far, I would tend to say to you, Christmas would probably not be the best time to venture out into church. Why is that so? Well, first and foremost, we can't control where people are coming as visitors with other families into that sacred space. Also, there may be crowds larger than we can handle, and that also may make people uncomfortable. Christmas is a time that we don't want to miss the opportunity to be in church. We missed Easter, and I completely understand that. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew that if you chose to stay home, because that has been your choice so far, that is absolutely what I would expect you to do. If you choose to come, or inviting other family members who are going to be home with you to attend one of the Christmas Masses, it is important for us to know that we're still at a very limited space. So here at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, our Christmas Eve Mass schedule will be 4, 6, and 8 p.m. And on Christmas morn, 8:30 and 10. At Immaculate Conception, our schedule will be 6, 8, 10, and midnight. And on Christmas Day, the same as St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, we will have 2 Masses, 8:30 and 10. What we will do, because we're uncertain how quickly the Masses will fill up, we will try to message to you when all the safe distancing seating has been taken. We will simply post on the doors a sign that will look like this. And it will simply say all safe space seating is occupied, and then we will list the next Masses as a reminder, so that if you cannot stay because of the crowd, you can choose a Mass to attend. I would certainly think that the best thing for us to think of is the Masses such as 6 and 8 here at St. Elizabeth Seton. They will be far less crowded. Definitely the 10 o'clock Mass on Christmas Day will be less crowded. And the same would go for the Masses of 8 and 10 at Immaculate Conception. So I hope that answers the question and the concern about coming to Sacred Mass. On the same note, we are filming 2 Christmas Masses, one from St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, one from Immaculate Conception, that will be broadcast on OSM beginning at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve. We're putting a lot of work into these Masses so that you can have a good sense of the Christmas spirit in your own parish church. I hope that helps alleviate the desire to come when you know that it is very impossible for you at this time. Also, of course, it's always very important to remember that we use our Christmas envelope this year, because the gift to the parish for Christmas is certainly going to help us to offset some of our deficit that COVID has brought about because of Safe Mode. The next question in OSM Mailbag is simply, Dear Father John, in a recent video, we spied the elf on the shelf in the corner of your office. What is Elf on the Shelf all about, and do you believe in him? Well, you can see Elf on the Shelf is right here with me. You know, this year is a special year for the Elf on the Shelf. He has to quarantine prior to doing his job for Santa. As you can see, he is safely quarantining for 14 days before Christmas. Here in this mason jar, he has a little bit of sanitizer with him. Of course, he's wearing a mask. As far as I understand, the elf on the shelf is Santa's spy. Now, it's pretty clever that someone decided that there truly be an elf on the shelf watching all the children in every home. When we were kids, my sisters would just simply say, "Be quiet! The elves are looking in the window." Well, that to me was scary enough to think that they were watching and they were going to report back to Santa. But the elf on the shelf has a whole life of its own. It comes in a box, it has a book to tell you the story, and here's the message. This elf is in everyone's home, and he quietly sits and watches. But when you go to bed at night, the way you know that he is telling Santa about you is that when you wake up in the morning, he is sitting somewhere else in the house. So he is truly the spy for Santa. Now, the question asked if I believe in the elf on the shelf. Yeah, well, I believe in unicorns too. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care much about the elf on the shelf. After knowing that the elves look in the window, who is this guy to put any fear in me? What was that? We must have had some kind of power outage. The next question is, Dear Father John, opening the baby Jesus present, should that take place prior to Christmas, at Christmas dinner, or before all other presents are open with the family? That's a good question. I think it should be the first present presented to the family before you open your other gifts so that baby Jesus can be placed in the manger, and then you know that you received him as the gift and can begin to show what gifts you desire to share in the love of Jesus. Oh, there they are. We had a lot of snow, and sometimes the lights, I guess, are affected to electricity. But here we are, we're back. Our next question is going to be, Dear Father John, what the heck happened? Oh man, that is freaky. Oh! God! There! Are you reaching out for something? I think I'm going to leave you in that cage. I hope you can't get out. I thought it was bad when they looked in the window at night. This is kind of creepy. Well, let's ignore him for now. Dear Father John, there are so many different Christmas movies. We shared the St. Nicholas story, but what other movies can we watch, and what is your favorite movie of all time? Well, my favorite animated cartoon movie is, you're going to have to wait when we do the OSM quiz, which will be coming up on our next episode. I know I missed a question on here and I wanted to... Oh yes. Okay, I believe. Please tell Santa that I was good. Oh my goodness. The strangest things are underfoot. Oh, we only have one more question. Dear Father John, what is the true definition of the word Christmas, and how do we begin to use it? Well, that's going to be on the OSM quiz too. So please stay tuned, and remember, stay safe in the Lord and keep the elf on the shelf away from you. And remember, in times like these, saints are forged. So let us be good and not be on the naughty list and become saints.